Welcome into A to Z Sports Prime Time, Thursday night edition. Hope everybody is having a great evening so far. We are going to take a look tonight at the record, the franchise record that Derrick Henry is on the verge of breaking. He may do it today, or rather, he may do it Sunday against the Colts. He may need a week or two to get it done, but there is no question that Derrick Henry will further cement himself in Titans history books with a performance, even just the regular season, for the rest of the regular season, that will help him get there with relative ease and many, many more games to play. I'll tell you what that record is here in a second. We'll talk about the idea that Bud Dupree and Amani Hooker look like they're probably going to play on Sunday against the Colts, which is a big boost, and we'll do a weekend bounce back because that's what we do on Thursday nights around here on the Primetime Show. Before we get rolling, need you guys to share this show as we get ready for a halftime of Thursday Night Football. Share it on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Twitch. If you're hanging out on Twitter, please retweet the show in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. YouTube or Twitch, you can subscribe to the channel, throw a like on the video, and we would be grateful for that. Gary Bailey and whomever else is watching us on YouTube tonight. If you are on Facebook Live like Terrence Gallagher or Dwayne Holiday, you can share now to public. That's in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen on Facebook. As a matter of fact, I'm sharing right now from my Facebook page. And if I can do that while talking and opening up this show, I think you guys can do that as well. And we would certainly be grateful for it. Once you guys have shared this show, as more of you will, more you continue to filter in as we get this thing started. Let's go ahead and do it. Welcome into A to Z Sports Primetime on a Thursday night from the Superbook Sports Studios. I'm your host, Buck Rising. I'm proud, as always, to be presented to you by our friends at Two Rivers Ford. Two Rivers Ford, the name you know, the brand you trust since 1983 for the best car buying experience possible. Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet or online at tworiversford.com. The Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Advantage. Intel is what the Ashton team offers too. You can get the Intel Edge with the official real estate agent of the Nashville Predators at GaryAshton.com. Superbook Sports, where you go to wager on Thursday night football, postseason baseball, NBA basketball, and everything in between. Get your first bet matched up to $1,000 win or lose at superbook.com. And TrueMav Fitness, a new way, a better way for you to achieve your fitness goals. You can get your first workout free as a Middle Tennessee resident at TrueMavFitness.com. So, as we get ready for the Titans and the Colts, Derrick Henry is in a situation where he has the ability to legitimately make some history here. And as we look at the kind of things that Derrick has done over the course of his career, you understand how much more impressive it is because it's really not that long of a time frame that he's been able to do this. It's basically since 2019 where they really started to lean into the idea that Derrick Henry is going to be the thing that carries them to the promised land. Maybe the back half of 2018. But certainly in 2019 is when we really saw this start to get rolling. So heading into week 7 against the Colts this week, Derrick needs one touchdown to tie Eddie George's franchise record for career touchdowns and 2 touchdowns to break it. Now, Eddie, if you remember, had 74 touchdowns during his career, lasted here in Nashville. Obviously, you had that weird, I think it was like a season or 2 with the Cowboys. 1996, though, to 2003 as an Oiler and a Titan, reaching the end zone 64 times as a rusher and 10 receiving touchdowns. So, since Derrick has come into the league in 2016, he has scored 73 touchdowns, 70 of those rushing, 3 receiving since his time coming in as a second-round draft pick. He obviously scored against the Commanders on October 9th, which tied Earl Campbell. 73 touchdowns, all rushing touchdowns, for second place in team history because he had the 2 touchdown performance. So Eddie is the franchise leader, and Derrick needs only 2 to surpass him, which is crazy. Crazy. He could easily do that this weekend. as far as his ability to do that. So let's talk about this. How many games do you think it will take Derrick Henry to pass Eddie George on the all-time touchdown leader list? How many games until Derrick Henry passes Eddie George? Let's talk about it together as we wrap up the first half of Thursday Night Football with you. It's your Two Rivers Ford take. How many games will it take? That's your Two Rivers Ford take. And of course, it's presented by Two Rivers Ford. Two Rivers Ford has the 2023 model year Fords available right now. You can go to Two Rivers Ford and get a brand new Explorer F-150. By the way, touchdown Cardinals. Look like a defensive touchdown. I'm not sure what happened there. We'll see the replay here shortly. Either way, it's a touchdown anytime you shop with Two Rivers Ford. You can call one of their non-commissioned salespeople. The number is easy, 1-800-900-1000, or you can head to tworiversford.com to check out their inventory and custom order the exact Fords you want. So reach out to Two Rivers Ford today and see for yourself what everybody is talking about. Two Rivers Ford, powered by Ford, driven by people. So looking at the situation for Derrick Henry, how many more games will it take? We asked Derrick Henry about, the place in league history, and obviously Derrick is always reverent of, the guys who came before him. Certainly he has developed a relationship with Earl Campbell by nature of Earl being around this franchise. Whenever they have these alumni weekends, which, by the way, it is Oilers and Titans alumni weekend at this game, so they will be celebrated. A lot of these dudes, Delaney is going to be the 12th Titan, along with, I can't remember which of the former Oilers he is going to, share the sword swinging duties with. I'll find you that answer maybe in a second. I want to say Dan Pastorini for some reason. Anyway, while you listen to Derrick Henry, I'll find that out.
Did you know much about Earl Campbell before you came to this franchise, and have you gotten to know him at all through the franchise?
I did win the Heisman before I got here, but I watched Earl NFL Network when they showed the NFL films backs in the '80s. He was a beast, a Ram, legend. So yeah, I was very familiar with Earl, and I got to meet him a couple of times throughout my career.
Has he said anything as you kind of get close to some of his marks? Do you guys communicate at all?
I don't talk to him on a weekly basis, but anytime I see him, it's always encouraging words.
Same with Eddie. I mean, you're getting close to some marks that he's set and helped set the standard for this franchise. When you're with those names and being mentioned, how nice is it to feel to be in that kind of company, Eddie and Earl?
Yeah, it's always a dream come true. I was the kid looking at the TV, watching Eddie run, and like I said, watching Earl on NFL films and all the old film on him, and they are the epitome of this franchise, and the running back position, as far as how they played it, the physicality, the success they had. So that'd be two guys that I looked up to, and it's a dream come true to have my name associated with.
So that's Derrick Henry talking about, and listen, Derrick's not overwhelming when he gets up at the podium like that. He's not going to blow you away with his answers most of the time, as far as how excited he is, but he obviously cares a great deal about this kind of stuff, and it matters, right? By the way, Dan Pastorini and Delaney Walker are going to be the 12th Titan, joint 12th Titan this weekend if you are heading to Lucas Oil. This game is kind of crazy as Andy Dalton takes off and slides at the 2-minute, or in the 2-minute drill, clock winding down, about a minute and 15 left to go, 1st and 10. Saints trailing 14-20 right now against Arizona, who hasn't won a game at home, which is crazy. I think either producer Reed or somebody told me that stat the other day. I can't recall, but I know it's not one that I came up with myself, but somebody gave me that the other day, and I mean, it's true. It's crazy how bad they have been at home over the past 2 seasons. Anyway, how many more games will it take Derrick to get there? So I think that when you look at this situation, Buck, the game isn't at Lucas Oil. Did I say it was? I'm sorry if I misspoke. Either way. Anyway, how many more games will it take for Derrick to pass Eddie George? I think I think he can probably do it in one. I mean, he's just coming off a 2-touchdown game. Derrick, when they get inside the red zone, as long as they're like not a nightmare on offense this weekend, he should have multiple opportunities. Now, I don't think they're necessarily going to feed him just to break the record. Mike's going to be cognizant of it, right? And obviously it's going to matter to Derrick. He'll get there at some point this season. He'll get there probably in the next 2 weeks at minimum. I can't imagine a situation where it would take more than 2 weeks for Derrick Henry to break that record. But I do think at this point that Derrick is so overwhelmingly great, and he's done it in such a short time span. Because yes, he has been here since 2016, but again, it's really since 2019 where he started to make this kind of traction towards a Hall of Fame career. And certainly that's what Derrick is on the path to do. I don't think he's there yet, but he's certainly on the way. Oh my God. It looks like they're about to score. Are they about to score another pick six? Wow. This is wild. Back-to-back pick sixes for a 26-14 lead. Oh my God. Andy Dalton. What a nightmare. I guess I'm surprised how far behind I am tonight than you guys, because a lot of you guys are calling this as it comes out. Anyway, woo! That is a bad scene. It's a big deal for Arizona, who's trying to get a home win. But goodness, Andy Dalton, 2-4 teams. This game has been pretty interesting so far after a lot of bad primetime games. And Andy looks shook. Anyway, let me tell you quickly before we get into added benefits of Bud Dupree and Amani Hooker, who look to be back this weekend. Let me remind you that the Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Advantage is where you go for the Intel Edge. Gary and his team will put you in a position to succeed no matter what you are looking to do. If you are looking to sell your home, Gary will help you sell for more. He'll help you sell without any showings or staging. He'll help you find your next home while you sell your current one, even though the real estate market is red hot, and he'll help you win the buyer battle and cash in on your home equity right now. That's the kind of Intel Edge that the Ashton team offers you. It's why they're the official real estate agent of me. It's why they're the official real estate agent of the Nashville Predators. They'll kill it for you as well at GaryAshton.com. So a 2-point conversion puts the Cardinals up, I believe now 28-14, 2-score game, 46 seconds left in the half. It is pretty crazy at this point. So as you look at the kind of things that Derrick has been capable of over the course of his career, and just like to look at the list of names around him on this is pretty crazy. In addition to becoming the first Titans Oiler player to score 75 touchdowns, when he does so, Henry can also crack the NFL's top 10 for the fewest career games needed to reach 75 touchdowns since the 1970 league merger. That's NFL and AFL. LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, is the fastest right now, 75 touchdowns in only 92 games. Derrick has been in 91 games. If he reaches the end zone twice within the next 2 weeks, he would pass Randy Moss for 10th place on that list. It took Moss 94 games to hit the 75 touchdown mark. So right now the top 10 list looks like LT, Emmitt Smith, Todd Gurley, which is crazy to think about, Jerry Rice, Todd Gurley over Jerry Rice, Sean Alexander, Marcus Allen, Adrian Peterson, Eric Dickerson, Chuck Foreman, Randy Moss, and Derrick, who is the ability to pass Randy Moss and get into the top 10 that way. He's just such an impressive player to watch. And it's been a really cool opportunity to cover him over the course of his career. Colts will beat the F out of the Titans, says Bailey Savage. I don't know. I think the Colts have a better chance to push him this week than they certainly did 2 weeks ago. Or, I mean, I guess that would have been 3 weeks ago. Week 4 is when the Colts and Titans last played at Lucas Oil. I don't think it's going to be a blowout on either side. I don't think either team is capable of blowing another team out right now. They're not. Neither of them are that good. But I do think that they have, if their offensive line problems are stabilized a little bit by having Dennis Kelly, a former Titan, starting on the left side, I do think that matters. I do think that matters a lot. So I don't think the Colts are capable of beating the F out of anybody. I don't think the Titans are capable of beating the F out of anybody. But I do think that the Colts have a better opportunity to push them than they did a couple of weeks ago at this point. Karen O'Keefe says, I had to block Bailey Savage yesterday. Oh no, feuding amongst yourselves in the streaming chat on whichever platform that you're using. Well, all I would say to you all is play nice, children, or Karen will come in there and block you, it would seem. All right, let's one more stat about Derrick, and then we'll move on to the injuries that it looks like the Titans are getting ready to have in a better situation for the time being. One more number on Derrick Henry, though, before we do that. Additionally, Derrick Henry can accomplish any of the following this week. There's five significant landmarks that Derrick can pass. So if he gets 3 rushing touchdowns, he will tie Earl Campbell for the most rushing touchdowns in franchise history. He needs 33 receiving yards to hit 1,000 career receiving yards, which would mean Eddie George and Chris Johnson, they're the only franchise players with 7,000 rushing yards and 1,000 yards receiving. Henry is 109 scrimmage yards from passing Ernest Givens for 4th place on the franchise's all-time career scrimmage yards list. He can record his 3rd consecutive 100-yard game this season. It would be his 31st in his career where he tops the century mark. 1 rushing touchdown, he would register his 5th consecutive game with at least 1 rushing touchdown and would tie the franchise record, which he shares with Earl Campbell and DeMarco Murray. The last time Derrick did this was in 2019 and then again in 2020. So he's going to be in a good spot. So do you think Henry is going to have more career touchdowns than Randy Moss? Oh, I mean, I don't think anybody's saying that he's going to have more career touchdowns than Randy Moss. I don't think anybody's making that argument, but I'm looking at him and saying, yeah, he can do it at a faster rate than Randy Moss did it, which I think would be, I mean, it's not as impressive, but I do think that, Derrick does get more opportunities than I think the average running back, and he scores at a higher rate than the average running back, of course. 156, I don't know if that's Moss's number, but that is that's obviously a crazy number. Derrick, I don't think Derrick is going to play, he would basically need to more than double his production over the remainder of his career to reach 156. I don't think anybody's talking about it that way. Certainly not. All right, let's move on and let's talk about the added benefit of a couple of Titans who are looking like they're going to return this week. Who benefits more with their returning player? The pass rush with Bud Dupree or the secondary getting Amani Hooker back? Let's go through this and give me your answers wherever it is that you're watching the show. In the meantime, I will remind you that Superbook Sports is where you go to take the fight to Vegas this football season, this basketball season, this baseball season. You have the ability to take on the best odds makers in the business on the strip. Superbook Sports will match your first bet up to $1,000, win or lose. That's why they're the best, because they'll take care of you, and they want to give you an opportunity to enjoy this with basically no stakes. No fancy computer algorithms, no guys from across the pond setting lines for American sports. Just the best team of odds makers in the business behind the counter at the Superbook. So download the Superbook Sports app. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. So as you look at the situation for the pass rush and the secondary, who benefits more by getting a player back who obviously both of these guys are critical to their success? Justin Parr says Amani Hooker. Karen agrees. Seth, Eric, goodness, Jacob, Aubrey. Nobody thinks Bud. Secondary. Okay, Mark Jones says pass rush with secondary benefit with Bud Dupree back. That's what I agree with Mark. I think that's the position that I would take because I think Bud helps both of those things. Amani, to have them both back is great. But I think Bud affects both of those things in meaningful ways because if you have a better rush, the guys don't have to cover as long. It can help protect a secondary that right now needs a little bit of protection because they're giving up a lot of explosive plays.
Bye week was good, came at the right time personally. I mean, not for the team, but for me. I'm able to go out there and get some time needed off. to get back to 100%, continue to grind away.
You feel like the explosiveness, all that, is back just based on what you've seen so far?
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna be good. Most thing is, man, just going through small knick-knack injuries throughout the season, man. You just gotta have an opportunity to be able to just sit down and let everything catch up with itself. The training, the rehab, everything just catch up.
So that's Bud Dupree in the locker room yesterday, seeming like he's going to play. So I think Bud benefits both sides of things. They have not been bad pressuring the quarterback, even though Bud's been in and out of the lineup, but there's no question that Bud makes a difference, right? The last time we saw him play was against the Colts. Did he force or recover a fumble? Either way, he was involved with one of the turnovers that the Titans ended up getting, 3 total turnovers of the Colts, and causing Matt Ryan to fumble and interceptions. Bud was a consistent part of that when he is available. The problem is he has not been consistently available. Eric Alonso asks a good question that I'd have to look up the answer for. How many games has Bud Dupree played for the Titans? So let me look this up on Pro Football Reference, because that was something that I was thinking about today. Just generally, like, how to feel about the Bud Dupree signing, given what it's been over the past couple of years. So he has been with the Titans now for 1 season and 5 games. He has missed, so he played in 11 games in 2021. I honestly thought that number was lower. So he obviously missed 6 games. He started in 6 games, but played in 11 for Tennessee of a possible 17, and he has missed 2 so far. So he's played in 14 games of a possible. Oh my God, what's 17? I'm going to embarrass myself. 17 times 2 is 34, right? Oh God, producer Reed, give me a thumbs up or something. He's not helping. He's just braying with laughter, which means he's not helping me do the math either. So I think 17 times 2 is 34. I can't do the math in my head. Or I can do the math in my head, but I don't know if I'm doing it correctly. Yes, 34. So he has played in 14 games of a potential 34 right now. So less than half, and obviously that's not ideal. I think that the return on investment, Chris Harp says, on Bud has been less than stellar. And it is enough though to make you. It's enough to make you have to think about it, right? Because he's obviously productive in those 14 games that he's played. And there's no disputing that. Like, he makes a difference when he's out there, whether you watch them on tape, whether you watch them on TV. Like, he is a difference-making player for a pass rush that has a lot of different, abilities to hurt you, right? He just adds to that complement, and obviously presents a higher ceiling than somebody like Weaver or Ola, who, reminder, is on IR and will miss this game plus 3 more games at minimum. So Dwayne Holiday says, use your fingers to do the math, Buck. No, I refuse. I'd rather get it wrong than have the visual on the internet forever of me. I'm not going to do it, but counting on my fingers. You guys almost got me. Not so fast. Jacob Bray says his contract is the problem. Well, he's definitely got a bigger number this year. Last year, it wasn't that big a deal because the cap hit, I think, was below $6 million. Obviously, this year it went up considerably. You want him to be more productive. We are only what, 5? We're 5 games in for them. So, he could miss more time. He could play the rest of the season. We have no idea how to judge it right now, but 14 of a possible 34 is off an ACL. I think you have to obviously grade on that curve, but I would still say that it's less than, it's not been worth it yet. But I don't think anybody needs to pass any final judgments right now. All right, let's wrap up a weekend bounce back and get you guys back in time for halftime of what's been a pretty fun Saints-Cardinals game so far. I don't know I think the college football games like Georgia Tech and either UVA or Virginia Tech. Either way, not a lot of great football being played tonight. But I will ask you the question about who needs to bounce back the most in sports. Speaking of bad football, I'm sure there's a football player or two, a franchise or two, who needs to bounce back this weekend. So let's talk about it in the comments on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Twitch. Let me know who needs to bounce back most in sports this weekend. While you guys fill in with your nominees, I will remind you that TrueMav Fitness is the best place for you to get your fitness journey started, to bounce back with your fitness goals at TrueMav Fitness. Conveniently located downtown Nashville in the Gulch. Classes throughout the course of the day, early in the morning, in the afternoon. If you want to get a quick workout in on your lunch break, you want to go after in the evenings, the afternoon, they offer classes of all kinds. They offer group classes. They offer personal training. They also have an open gym concept, so you can work out as you please in your attempt to reach your fitness goals. They're there to help you and get you started with your first class free at TrueMavFitness.com. So, who needs to bounce back this weekend? Bucks, says Chris Frazier. I believe the Bucks play the Panthers on the road. I would think they would be able to bounce back. I think Sam Darnold's starting off IR because Baker, it doesn't sound like, is still right. Max Titan here to troll says Bama with a laughing face emoji, and producer Reed just holds his heart because he's still hurting over what the Volunteers did to him last weekend. Lakers, says Chris Frazier. I didn't see how they opened their season. I watched John the Grizzlies last night. Woo! So much fun to watch that game in overtime. He's such an electric player. Bud Dupree needs to bounce back, says G-Man on base. I will take that nominee, but I will see your Bud Dupree and I will raise you one particularly cringeworthy quarterback. He is Russell Wilson, he of the Wolverine blood.
Feeling better every day, day by day. Obviously, it happened Monday night, but I heal quick. I don't know if it's Wolverine blood or what, but
it's just the laugh is so cringe-worthy because we all occasionally do things like laugh at our own jokes, and that's funny. But just he just looks like he's fidgeting up there. He looks like he's uncomfortable up there. He's trying to make a joke. He's trying to be like, "Hey guys, I'm hurt right now. That's why we're struggling. But also, don't worry, I'm going to be fine. I got Wolverine blood."
Feeling better every day, day by day. Obviously, it happened Monday night, but I heal quick. I don't know if it's Wolverine blood or what, but
Maybe honestly, they need to come up with an ingredient called Wolverine blood to put on his Danger Russ subs, because we did him the courtesy of not playing that a second horrendously embarrassing Russell Wilson Subway commercial with him doing all kinds of moves and talking about the different ways with which he eats his Danger Russ subs. It's just somebody save this man from himself. I don't know who's in Russell's ear. I don't know who's telling Russ or having the ability to help give Russ guidance over his marketing and public appearance decisions. But good God, he and the Wolverine blood, the Dangerous subs, all of the cringiness that is Russell Wilson, this man, most especially on the football field, needs to bounce back. Producer Reed says, Mr. Unlimited has Wolverine blood. It all makes sense now. Yeah, that's just that. Man, Farley is just, I don't know, man. I'm speechless on him, says Justin Parr. Well, I mean, listen, Ugo Amadi is going to be healthy. He's not been on the injury report this week. I would assume that takes Caleb Farley out of the defensive lineup, which I would say is a good thing right now. I don't know. I don't know what to make of him either, honestly, and I don't know how you fix the problem because obviously I'm not in the meeting rooms with him. I see what he works on every day. I see how sometimes that gets lost in the shuffle when he's in live action, and I don't know how you bridge that gap. It's just incumbent upon him to do so. And, certainly it's not for a lack of effort on the coaching staff. It's just, it's a pretty big disconnect there, man. Jacob Ray says of Russell Wilson, fakest person in the league. Ooh, I bet I could come up with some. Well, but I like, I know, I don't want to, it sounds like a douchebag thing to say, but to say that I know some of these people in the league who I would consider to be faker than Russell Wilson, but I don't know that it would be, a player less. I don't want to call him fake. I guess to call him less genuine is still calling him fake to a degree, but who's a bigger fake than Russell Wilson in football right now? JJ Watt is the only one that has that same level of cheese, but even JJ's been, people have been on JJ's ass for a long time about, the Captain America bullshit that he does. And that's fine. Listen, JJ is like he's the closest thing to a physical superhero I think any of us have seen. Him and Roger Saffold are built actual superheroes, like the Incredible Hulk and Clark Kent. So it's just, I almost, I don't know, maybe it's prisoner of the moment because Russ is just the most recent and JJ hasn't done anything cringeworthy in a while. But I feel like JJ's up there. JJ is definitely he's got a little bit of that to him. Tom Brady, says Mark Jones. No, in fact, I think Tom is as real as he's ever been. You could probably accuse him of that in the first 20 years of his career when he was clearly having his personality suppressed by the Patriots. But these last, how long has Brady been a Buck? 3 years, including this season. 2020 was the first season with the Bucks. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for me to say that Tom's been much of a fake right now. I think at this point it would seem. Anyway, let's wrap this up for the week. I appreciate you guys spending some time with me on A to Z Sports Primetime. Couple of things to plug. Obviously, we had David Long on the radio show today. It was phenomenal. Go check out that interview. David's always fun to talk to. You can listen to it as many times as you like and all the interviews that I do with all kinds of cool people in the radio show's podcast feed. It's called The Buck Rising Show. Another thing, it is the crucial catch game for the Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans this week at Nissan Stadium. And I am a part of the American Cancer Society's Real Men Wear Pink campaign. So I'm going to tweet the link for you guys for you guys to help me raise some money for breast cancer research here as a part of the Real Men Wear Pink of Nashville program. We are over halfway to our goal. Our goal collectively was $200,000. We have raised north of 103,000 right now. But I could really, really use your guys' help in raising money for a fantastic cause that's going to continue to change lives and make sure that people can continue to receive proper both preventative care and care if they do deal with such diagnosis. So the website that you can go to be able to do this is I'll tweet the link for those of you who are with me on Twitter. But the Real Men Wear Pink website, you can go to the Real Men Wear Pink of Nashville. You can see the page that they have for me as a fundraiser organizer, and you can help me meet my goal. My goal is only $2,500 out of the $200,000 that we are collectively raising. I hope that you'll help me do it. I'm excited about it, and I really appreciate the American Cancer Society for asking me to be involved. So look for that link on Twitter if you would be kind enough to do so. In fact, if you will allow me, I will also drop that link into the chat for you guys across across the different platforms for you to be able to go directly to that link as well. And in the meantime, have a great rest of your weekend. I'm sure I'll see a bunch of you at Nissan Stadium on Sunday. Enjoy the game. Mark Jones wants to know, where is my pink? You know what, Mark? That's a good question. My laptop bag's not up here. I'm literally, I can't get up and get it because it would take me off the camera, and that would be terrible for this program. But there's my Real Men Wear Pink gift bag with my pink tie, my pink socks that I'll wear on game day, and I've got a little Real Men Wear Pink button to put on my one of the collars of my jacket that I'll wear on Sunday. So if you would do that, if you would help me out there, I would greatly appreciate it, as I always appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Talk to you Sunday night from Nissan Stadium.
There's Matt. All right, we haven't scored a point since I came in here. I am gone, guys.
What?
That's it.
We got a couple more questions.
No, that's it.
Peace out by the GM.